You know things have taken a serious turn when a punchline on Saturday Night Live hits harder than any tabloid headline. One moment, Colin Jost is delivering his typical monologue, and the next, he drops a subtle jab at Meghan Markle that lands like a wrecking ball. His line, apparently, part of Trump's UK trade deal, involves sending Meghan Markle back, but only if she deletes her entire Instagram again. The audience laughs, sure, but under that laughter, something shifted. This wasn't just a casual joke, it felt like a cultural turning point, and reportedly, Meghan didn't take it lightly. She was furious, the kind of furious where the wine glass nearly shatters in your hand. The timing couldn't have been worse. While that joke was making waves on national TV, the internet was already buzzing with something much bigger, another wave of those notorious yacht photos. This wasn't just speculation or rumor anymore. These were actual images. Blurry, yes, but detailed enough to spark a full-blown internet frenzy. The woman in the pictures bore a striking resemblance to Meghan before her royal transformation, lounging on a sunlit yacht, surrounded by champagne glasses and men with the unmistakable aura of quiet, generational wealth. The bracelets matched, the aesthetic matched, even the lighting matched. Internet sleuths went into overdrive, and the results were brutal. But here's the thing, it wasn't really about the photos. Not entirely, it was about what they represented. Meghan had spent years meticulously reshaping her public identity, from actress to duchess, from chasing roles to delivering TED-style speeches about empowerment and mental health. Her brand was one of authenticity, grit, and inspiration. But brands like that are built on clean narratives, polished, intentional, and mess-free. When something messy surfaces, the entire structure wobbles. This wasn't the first time those yacht rumors had floated around. They had lived quietly in the corners of blogs and Reddit threads for years, but they never caught fire until now. Back then, the public wasn't interested. The royal conflict was too shiny, too captivating. Any criticism of Meghan was quickly dismissed as racism, envy, or both. The fairy tale had too much momentum to question, but now, the magic's worn off. The Spotify partnership fell through. Netflix interest has cooled. Her team can't stop the memes, the stitches, the viral clips dragging those old photos back into the spotlight. And what's wild is that Colin Jost didn't even reference the yacht rumors. He didn't have to. His joke simply cracked the door and the internet kicked it wide open. Because when someone like Colin publicly mocks Meghan, it isn't just humor, it signals that it's socially acceptable to start laughing. And when the public starts laughing, everything shifts. Empathy fades. Curiosity takes its place. People begin digging. And the internet, it never forgets. Meghan's camp remained silent. No public denial. No legal threats. No PR campaign. Just silence, which, in today's world, isn't neutral, it's suspicious. If it wasn't her in those images, why not say so? Why not threaten a lawsuit? Why not shut it all down instantly? That silence spoke louder than words. What began as curiosity turned into assumed truth. Even her most loyal supporters were left without a script. And Harry. He was watching his wife's past unravel across TikTok feeds and comedy monologues. The same man who once declared war on the media now found himself in the center of the circus he tried to escape. The worst part. This time, it wasn't the royal family dragging them through the mud. It was the culture. The internet. Satire. And when comedy turns on you, it's a death sentence. Hollywood doesn't fear scandal, it fears unpredictability. Executives love buzz, but only the kind they can steer. Meghan became unsteerable a long time ago. Quiet whispers started to ripple through the entertainment industry. She was now viewed as a liability, not because of anything proven, but because of a hunch, a vibe, that whatever happened next could explode. Her name quietly disappeared from invitation lists. She was quietly removed from panel lineups. Brand campaigns suddenly lost interest. No headlines captured this shift, but insiders felt it deeply. The real issue wasn't just the rumors, it was how hard her team tried to scrub them away. Editors were contacted. Journalists were urged to take down decade-old lifestyle articles. It didn't feel like a privacy concern, it felt like concealment. And the yacht narrative. It cut deeper than expected, not because a woman can't have a life before marriage, but because Meghan's appeal was built on a very specific image. Grounded, principled, above reproach. Those photos, whether real, fake, or heavily edited, told a different tale. They suggested ambition, strategy, calculated alliances. A woman who didn't stumble into royalty, but climbed there with open eyes and careful steps. Social media didn't hold back. Twitter threads dissected her interviews and social connections. TikTok creators mapped timelines, highlighting odd disappearances and estranged friendships. Instagram Reels zoomed in on old red carpet clips with captions like, "Was this all part of the plan?" It wasn't hate. It was obsession. It felt like a live, unraveling reality show. Suddenly, the term inauthentic began to stick not from tabloids, but from influencers and fans who once admired her. They weren't calling her cruel. They were calling her fake. And in this era, being seen as fake is worse than being flawed. You can bounce back from scandal. But once the public thinks you're a fraud, the damage cuts deeper. And what hit hardest wasn't just the internet, it was the silence of her usual defenders, journalists who once called her brave, quiet, influencers who once praised her resilience, nowhere to be found. Even her trusted inner circle went dark. One insider claimed her PR team had a go-to list of media contacts they'd call during damage control. This time, most of them didn't answer. No one wanted to defend something they couldn't explain. Harry, meanwhile, became collateral damage. Old clips of him standing up to the press were now paired with the yacht photos, twisted into viral punchlines. People weren't just questioning Meghan anymore, they were questioning Harry. Did he know? Did he ignore the signs? Was this whole romance just another carefully crafted image? One viral tweet summed it up. The man gave up a crown for a woman who may have just played him like a Netflix role. The internet doesn't wait for proof. It sees a pattern and runs with it. Meghan's carefully built image wasn't just cracking, it was being memed into irrelevance. Not by the monarchy, not by tabloids, but by everyday people with smartphones and opinions. That's the scariest threat to someone trained in media control, a platform they can't spin. The damage didn't lie in the images or the jokes. It lay in what they signified. A story so tightly managed for so long was now spinning out of control. Strangers were rewriting the narrative in real time. Even journalists who once championed her were now revisiting old stories, tweaking headlines, adding disclaimers. Media outlets that once celebrated her were editing their archives, removing glamour shots from her early days, not because of proof, but because something no longer felt right. Back at Montecito, insiders claimed her team was in crisis mode, throwing together wellness content, hinting at philanthropy projects, dangling the idea of an exclusive interview. But none of it resonated. The audience had shifted. They weren't looking forward to her next chapter. They were rereading the first ones, trying to spot the red flags they missed. Whispers spread about a possible new documentary, one that could explore the yacht claims, delve into past relationships, maybe even include interviews from people who'd previously stayed silent. Meghan's lawyers were reportedly preparing for every possible scenario, but the public was focused on the irony that the woman who sued tabloids for invading her privacy might now become the centerpiece of the most public takedown in modern pop culture. Meanwhile, Harry was noticeably absent. Paparazzi who once followed the couple religiously now had fewer sightings. Rumors circulated had he visited the UK. Were they living apart even under the same roof? One photographer remarked that Harry looked perpetually drained lately, head down, shoulders heavy, as if carrying more than just disappointment. Tabloids began teasing rift stories, and while those are often exaggerated, the silence felt louder than any headline. This couple, once masters of curated public moments, had vanished. No family portraits, no carefully produced videos, no motivational sound bites, just silence. Online, the discussion evolved. It wasn't about tea or drama anymore. It became about patterns. Erased college connections, deleted digital traces, rapid rises into elite circles before meeting Harry. Forums gathered metadata, timelines, archived screenshots. Meghan wasn't just a public figure anymore. She had become a case study. That's the danger in turning yourself into a brand. It works beautifully until your audience stops buying it. And when they start to feel played, when they notice too many edits, too many holes in the plot, they don't just walk away. They investigate. They build timelines. They collect receipts. And they don't stop until they find what they're looking for, or invent it themselves. Either way, your image is no longer yours. It belongs to them now. It belongs to them now.